So I've actually opened 2 boutiques in the past 2 years. So I feel like I know a thing or two about opening an online boutique. And that's not, when I said that out loud, I thought, oh, you sound cocky, but it's not meant to be like a, oh, I know loads about it type of thing. It's more of a, I've made so many mistakes and they haunt me to this day. I dream about them at night. I've made so many mistakes. So what I want to do in this video is share with you 5 things that you need to know before starting an online boutique. As always, my mission is to stop you from making the same mistakes that I did. So let's get to it. Hi everyone, my name is Jade. I release content every week on entrepreneurship and social media. So if you're interested in either of those subjects, then please hit the subscribe button. So today's video, I'm going to focus on really practical tips. As always, I don't want to dwell on the intro, so let's start with tip number 1. So my first tip is that you need a social media strategy which is focused on gaining customers and not followers. So anyone who knows me probably won't be very surprised that I've started off with the tip which is related to social media, because I love my social media content. I had to get one of those tips in there. But as someone who considers themselves as an Instagram expert, self-titled, I'm aware that this is a mistake that so many people fall into. So when you're starting an online boutique, I'm sure you all know that Instagram is your friend. It is going to be one of your biggest drivers when it comes to sales, and it is going to help you launch your business. But when you start your Instagram account for your online boutique, please do not fall into the trap of using the same social media strategies that you use for your personal account, because those are not applicable anymore. You are now running a business account, or focusing on getting followers and not customers. So what a lot of people do when they start their Instagram account or whatever social media account it is to help their online boutique, they're like, I've got like 2 followers, I need so many more, so I'm going to buy followers, or I'm going to do the follow on follow technique and all this kind of stuff, and it just doesn't work, because what you end up doing is gaining a follower base of people who don't care about your products. Rather than doing that, focus on building an audience which could be small. Like my audiences on both of my boutique Instagram pages are small, but they are full of people who buy from me, and that's what matters. So what you want to focus on is building an audience of people who are actually going to buy your product. And I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can do this, but if you would like more information, then I recommend checking out this video. It's going to give you loads more information and loads more tips and tricks. So one of the tips I'm going to give you when it comes to you opening your Instagram or social media account to support your business, the first thing is that you want to focus on building relationships with everyone who follows you. And whether that's dropping them a direct message and, as a thank you for following your account, offering them a discount code, or whether that's using your stories features and putting in interactive features such as a poll or an open question box where you're saying, what do you want to see from us? What products do you want from us next? What services do you want from us next? Really build a dialogue with your followers and make them feel like they know you and they can communicate with you, and that you're a brand who really cares about their opinion and their thoughts. The next tip I'm going to give you is focus on product proof. This one's an important one. From the second you open your Instagram or social media account, you want to make sure that you have photos on there from other people using your products. So if you go on any of my accounts, but let's choose Royal London for the sake of this video. If you go on Royal London and head to the tagged photos, you'll see that there are loads of photos from different people using my products. But not only that, I also have a highlight reel, which if you click on it, you will see so many photos, I don't even know how many are on there, from other people uploading story content and tagging my brand. What that immediately does is it installs trust in anyone who's landing on my page, because they can clearly see that even though I'm a new brand and even though I don't have loads of followers, I am actually offering legitimate products and my brand is real, because here are people who have purchased from me in the past. And the next tip I'm going to give you is to use a mix of hard sell and soft sell messaging. Don't be one of those brands who start a page and every single post that they do is like, buy this now, because that is what hard sell messaging is, and not everyone wants to hear it all the time. So you need to get good at altering your tone of voice and focusing a lot of your content on just building relationships and asking questions rather than always selling your products. As I mentioned, check out the video I linked to earlier if you would like further tips and advice on that. The next thing that you should know before starting your online boutique is that packaging matters. Unfortunately, we do still judge a book by its cover. Packaging is super important, and this is definitely something that I learned the hard way. I actually once got an email from a customer. It was when I just started Royal London, shipped them their bag, and I got this scathing email from a customer being like, I want to return this product because the box it came in was so rubbish. They were like, the box was rubbish, the packaging was just rubbish, and now I don't trust your bag because how you parcelled it was so just flimsy and rubbish. That he was saying the word rubbish, but that's the only word I can think of. That your packaging was so rubbish that I don't trust your brand anymore and I don't want the bag. Safe to say, I was like, oh, felt like a bit of a slap in the face, but it was also the kick that I needed to step up my packaging game. I feel like I can't talk about packaging without talking about my mates, No Issue. I love this brand. Like, I absolutely love them. They're basically this really cool packaging company, which is like fully committed to sustainability, which I absolutely love. I think as business owners, it is our job to do our best to make sure that we're running our business in as ethical as a way that we possibly can, and sustainable packaging is a step in the right direction for all of us. I'm actually going to get some samples for you because they were very kind enough to send me some samples of all the different things that they do. So I'm going to go get them because I'm excited to show you. So this is what like the sample bit comes in. How cute! Can you see? I love stuff like this. I feel like, right, look at how my reaction was just from the packaging there. If that's not proof that packaging it matters, then I really don't know what is. I'm like swooning over the packaging whilst talking about packaging. So this is their compostable mailer, which is what this actually came in. And as you can see, it says, hey, I'm 100% compostable mailer. And then it has a bunch of certifications on the back. It says like, let's break it down, and basically just tells you how you can go about composting your mailers. And then they offer a bunch of different services. So they offer things like no issue stamps, which is actually something I've not tried before, but I really want to. They offer loads of different sticker kind of sizes and qualities. You can probably see them there. Don't look at my nails. I've not had them done literally since COVID. I've not had my nails done since like February 2020. But they're in a good condition, so I'm not gonna let you bring me down. So these are some of the stickers that they have. I'll actually show you the stickers that I use and some of the packaging that I use for my packaging in a second. So yeah, a bunch of different stickers that they offer. Loads of different sizes, all really good quality. You have to be careful because coming from someone who have tried to get packaging from so many different suppliers in the past, oh my God, I have been around the block. I have tried so many different suppliers, so many which will probably come to mind when you think of like buying stickers for your business, like really obvious big brands. I'm not going to name and shame today because, you know, don't want them to sue me. But some of these brands, like huge brands who operate on a global scale and they're just massive, the quality of the stuff that they produce is so bad. It's so bad. Sometimes it's really cheap and like, you know, I guess it's like you get what you pay for, but they're just rubbish. They're flimsy, they look bad, they're poor quality, like they're not worth it. So it's worth, like I say, investing. No Issue isn't expensive, but it's worth doing your research and finding a supplier who you can trust. If you want to listen to my recommendations, then I definitely think No Issue could be that brand for you. But it's important that you go out there and, you know, you order a sample pack like I have and you try them out for yourself. So I realise I'm just rummaging around here and I'm not actually showing you what I'm looking at. So they also offer tissue paper, just like bespoke tissue paper. So this is obviously with their branding and stuff on it. But you can get bespoke, sustainable tissue paper. So as promised, I said I'd show you a few of the different things that I use for my packaging. For Lilo London, I use things like little stickers here, which just say Lilo London on them, and I use them to fasten like my tissue paper. So I wrap all my bikinis and swimwear in tissue paper, and then I put a lovely sticker on it. And then I also have like hand tags which say Lilo London and the website as well. For Raya London, I put these business cards in each of my parcels, which basically say take 15% off your next order. I'm covering the order code because you've got to buy from me first to get the code. Know what you guys are like, sneaky. And then the box that I use now, so I've upgraded and I invested in better boxes. I can put a link to everything below in the description, are these white boxes, which I use for any big orders from Lilo London or every single order from Raya London, because obviously they're bags, so they usually require a big box. The reason why these are an investment and a step up is because they come with this, which is like a strip at the top, but it's really strong. It's like a sticky, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just, I don't know, tape. But it's really strong. So when you close it, it actually fastens it for good and it works really well. And then another little tip that I'll give you for packaging, because as you can tell, I've not yet invested in bespoke custom boxes, which is something that I will be doing at a later date. But if you're not ready to invest in bespoke custom boxes yet, but you still want to do really nice, pretty packaging, what I do for Raya London is I get these kind of big long stickers. They basically just say Raya London on them, and on the bottom it says thank you, and it has my logo kind of imprinted on the back. And I add it to the box like this. So I'll stick it to the top, so when you get it, it says Raya London, and then I'll put it over this bit here, so to fasten it, and then it will say thank you there. What that basically does, as you can see, I'm really annoyed that I've already done my orders this morning and shipped them, otherwise I could have just shown you, but it doesn't matter. So what it does there is that it makes the box look a little bit more bespoke and custom without you having to invest in an actual custom box. Okay, so let me just wrap up the session by quickly telling you a few more bits about NOISSUE, because what I'm hoping you're going to do is check them out, potentially buy from them, and they have a few things that you should know about. It's going to make purchasing from them just even better. So the first thing is that they have this Eco Packaging Alliance where they send badges to everyone who purchases from their store, which you can basically use on your store to tell everyone that your brand uses eco-friendly packaging, which I think is really great to communicate to your customers, especially if you're targeting customers who have a particular interest in kind of sustainable and ethical shopping. They also plant one tree for every order. I love that. They offer free shipping worldwide. Please note that for some countries it may take up to 21 days, but they do offer free worldwide shipping. And you can design all of your products online using their online designer tool. So, as I mentioned, packaging matters. If the story I told you at the start of this section about me getting that awful scathing email and having to give that poor girl a refund, if that doesn't scare you into taking your packaging seriously, then I really don't know what will. The next thing that you need to know before starting your online store is that your website is the key to you getting sales. Please do not skim or cut corners on your website. It is so important. This is again coming from a mistake that I made when I launched my second store, which was Raya London. I was just really keen to get it out there and just get started. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it really quickly. I think I designed the website in like a day, and it was fine, but it wasn't great. And now it's so much better. I'll put a little graphic here so you can see what it looks like, but it looks so much better now. And the second I spent time improving it, my kind of conversion rate and sales massively increased. If you don't know what your conversion rate is, this is the key to you measuring whether or not your store is being effective or whether or not your advertising is being effective. Your conversion rate is the percentage of people who land on your website and who actually purchase from you. So what you want to do is have a really decent conversion rate. My aim is to have 5%. I don't always achieve that, but that would be like, in my opinion, a great conversion rate to have. In order for you to increase your conversion rate, your website needs to be well designed and you need to be using a few tactics which are going to encourage people to buy. And I'm going to share a few of those tactics with you now. So the first thing I recommend you do is that you focus on the user experience. Get some of your friends to test your website before you launch it. Or if you've already launched, it's never too late. Get some of your friends to test it then. Get a stranger to test it, even better, because they won't care about hurting your feelings. Or, get that one honest friend. Everyone has that one honest friend who will just be like, your dress looks ugly. Get that friend to test your website, because they're going to tell you if it doesn't work, or if it's just not, or if the experience just isn't smooth and doesn't flow properly, or your links aren't in the right place, or your text is in the wrong place. It's not that easy to navigate and find the products you want. That's all the stuff that you need to be focusing on. The next tip is to offer free shipping. Now, that's not always possible. I totally get it. However, you should try your best to offer free shipping, at least nationally. International free shipping is very difficult, but at least try your best to offer national free shipping. Build the cost of the shipping into your product so that you obviously don't lose out on profit. But that is a really powerful tool or tactic to get people to actually convert and purchase from you. Ensure your checkout process is smooth and simple. If you're not offering free shipping, then be really upfront about that so that customers know how much shipping is going to cost straight away, and it's not this weird added thing at the end when they're just about to pay, because no one likes surprises at the last stage of their checkout process. But make sure the whole process is really smooth and easy to do, and you're not asking people to re-enter their details 1,000 times or anything like that. Include trust badges. I'll put an example of what a trust badge looks like here. Trust badges are basically badges which reassure people that you accept certain forms of payment, or that you have a 14-day satisfaction guarantee, all that good stuff. They're literally what it says on the tin. Is it on the tin or on the can? No, it's tin. It's literally what it says on the tin. If you use Shopify, there's a really easy app that you can use. I'll put a link to it in my description, which is what I use on both of my sites, where you can pick your trust badges and it will appear on all of your product pages. The last one is to offer a PayPal checkout button. So if you're on Shopify, then there's an option to do this. It is back in your settings. I didn't offer that straight away on Raya London, and then the second I did, my conversion rate increased. People trust PayPal. I get why people trust PayPal, because they built their entire business based on, backing up consumers and helping consumers get their money back if they get scammed or if, they're not happy with the product. So people trust PayPal. It's really easy for loads of different countries to use. So I know their fees are a bit painful, but it's worth it in the end, and I 100% recommend adding a PayPal checkout option. So the next thing you need to know before starting your online boutique is how to price your products. This is so important. I mean, all of these things are important, but this one's really important, and it's something that I've just noticed a lot of people don't do correctly. There's so much more what goes into pricing your products outside of just your, usual questions of how much did it cost me to buy. And that's where a lot of people fall victim to not pricing their products properly and therefore not making enough profit, because they go on their supplier's website and they're like, oh, well, this cost me £10, so I'm going to sell it for 15, and they think that's it, job done. When in actual fact, there's so many other things that you need to take into account. I have a full video on this where I break down step by step how you should price your products. I 100% recommend watching it. I will link to it up here. But to give you a few tips in this video, what you should be taking into account when you're figuring out how much a product costs is, of course, how much you actually paid for it from your supplier, but also how much your inbound shipping was for that item, how much your outbound shipping is going to be, how much your packaging is going to cost. We just spent a lovely few minutes talking about packaging. You need to think about your custom fees, which most people are going to have to deal with because most people import stock from abroad. And you've got to think about your time. You've got to pay yourself. Okay, don't forget to pay yourself. There's loads of other things to take into account, and it needs a lot more explanation. So as I mentioned, check out that video I linked to earlier. The fifth thing that I think you need to know before starting your online boutique is how to purchase inventory correctly. And this is in relation specifically to the amount of inventory you're going to purchase. This is a science. This is it is difficult because you have to get the right balance between not having so much stock that you end up with waste versus not having enough stock and then all of your items are sold out. There's a very unique balance that you need to kind of get in the middle of. And in my opinion, there's a bit of a science and a formula to it. And I actually tell you my exact formula for figuring out how much inventory I need to buy before launching a store or launching a collection in this video. So I recommend giving it a watch. Another thing to bear in mind when it comes to purchasing inventory before you launch your boutique is that you don't always have to buy all of your inventory and have it on stock. There is this magical thing called pre-ordering, which is what I use on both of my boutiques. And pre-ordering, in a nutshell, is basically when you allow customers to purchase an item that you don't currently have in stock. So they'll purchase it from your site. It will be clearly marked that it's only available on pre-order. There'll be longer shipping times, which will allow you to take their money, essentially. That sounds quite bad. To receive their money and spend that on the item that they've purchased. So you order it from your supplier sends it to you, and then you ship it off to your customer. What that means is that they may have to wait a little bit longer to receive their items, but it means that you don't have to carry loads of stock all the time, which is really important to small business owners and people who live in one-bed flats like I do. I have a video on it. Can we just take a second to just really appreciate how many videos I am linking to throughout this actual video? It makes me feel like I've really built a good bank of content, so it makes me really happy that I've now got to the stage where I can just link to those videos for further information. Sorry, I just had a bit of a moment. But as I was saying, I have a video on it. I have the whole video on pre-ordering. I tell you which system I use, and I give you step by step how I use it and how I track all my inventory. It's quite complex, so I recommend having a notepad and pen to hand so that you can write down some notes, but it's really useful. So that's all of my tips. If you found this video useful, then I recommend checking out this one. I share with you all my strategies and tactics to opening an online store with little to no money in 2021. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.